Alright, this is the completion of the second print of the Brittle PLA. This is the first one, and we already saw that in the previous video. So right now, this is the completion of the second print of the Brittle PLA. I just wanted to see if indeed brittle filament can still print, even though it's been said that the brittleness is caused by moisture. So the thing is, usually when someone has an issue with the quality of the print, it's always said, you know, you got to dry the filament. You got to. It's moist. It's wet. It needs to be dried. So I wanted to see that if I didn't do that, if I didn't do what other users have recommended, that it would still print. And twice now in a row, it has. So the diagnosis of wet, moisture in the filament does not necessarily hold true. In fact, I would check other causes of filament quality not being so good other than drying it. So this filament has not been dried, has not even come close to any dehydrator, oven, or anything, and it's printing now. I also want to show the bed is non-heated. Okay, I just wanted to show that while it's still printing, and the nozzle temp is at 185. And again, we only have a few minutes here, about 5 minutes left. But this is showing that even with brittle filament, and this filament actually, like I mentioned earlier, broke off inside the Bowden tube after this print was finished. So I was just sitting here and I could hear a couple of snapping sounds, and a piece of filament fell to the area here. So I checked a bit further, and this also was inside the Bowden tube. So again, the diagnosis of the quality of the print, if it's poor, it's not necessarily going to be narrowed down to being wet. Okay? Just because it's brittle is not an indication that it won't print, or not an indication that it's wet. I don't hear any popping or snapping sounds from the nozzle because it's heating off or boiling off the moisture. So I probably will check that sometime here in the near future without the noise of the fan. What I'll do is I'll take these pieces that are going to be diagnosed as wet, because that's what it always is diagnosed as. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few of these and run them through the nozzle, a hot nozzle by itself, not printing, so you don't have that extra sound or noise. But I want to see if the filament going through a nozzle is going to pop and snap and boil off the moisture that is said to be in the filament. I think it's more the quality of the material. I think it's the chemical makeup that makes it brittle. I just don't think it's moisture. It's closer, for me, it's closer to being the quality of the material rather than moisture in the filament. Because again, you don't hear any popping or snapping or any filaments, boiling off. You can see the print is finishing up here. It's a good quality print like every other filament that I use. Alright, so anyway, like I say, this is going to finish here shortly. I did it with 100% infill, so it's a good solid piece. But what this is the wire clamp right back there that some people have issues with. The wire clamp needs to be printed, or it has something happened to it. So that's what this is. And again, I don't need it, but I wanted to print it with this brittle filament, with this so-called wet filament. Alright, so quality's good. Can't deny that. So this is what it started out as. This is what it's still at, because I haven't changed anything. So again, I think it's more the chemical. Let me see if I can, what'll happen here. Yeah, see, so it's still snapped, it still breaks, it's still brittle. Not likely it's a cause of moisture. I've actually never had that issue. Moisture's never been an issue in the location that my printer's at, that my filament's at. There's no cause for moisture. But there it is, it's brittle. So if it's brittle, it's wet. I don't know. That just doesn't seem to me to be the correct diagnosis most of the time. All right. Happy printing.